Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Sona64, and I've got a pretty nice commentary for you guys. The gameplay you see in the background is some Black Ops 2 gameplay. It's from the free weekend that Steam had about a week or two ago to the date. And yeah, I was just playing on my PC. This is also on the old graphics card that I was using, the Radeon HD 6850. I got rid of that because it was overheating, and I mean, it wasn't really helpful to the computer that it kept overheating. It was going up to like 100 to like above 100 degrees Celsius, and any amount of heat or any part in the computer that produces that much heat should honestly be 86th and replaced with a different part. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah, so anyway, I had a pretty good day today, I'm not gonna lie. I got a topic that I want to get to, but I should probably just talk about what happened today. Like, I met up with one of my friends from high school, and it was kind of it was actually sort of revitalizing. And I mean that in like not like a spiritual sense, but like a bad day went turned good kind of sense. Because, like, I don't know, I've been kind of lonely today, and I'm like, wishing I was with the girl that I want to be with right now, but I couldn't be, because it was snowing. And then, it snowed and it looked bad, but it didn't end up being bad, and I could have went to go see her, but I didn't go and do that. So I stayed home and did nothing, basically. I did bring my PlayStation home from her house to my house because it's my PlayStation and I have nothing to play. And so I brought it home, brought it here to play, and been playing this free-to-play game called Dust 514 or 514. I'm not really sure what the exact way to say the number part of it, but it's a game made by Eve. I'm sure you know their games like Eve Online. They have strategy games, and this Dust 514 game or 514 is a free-to-play first-person shooter on the PlayStation 3. It's similar or almost the same as PlanetSide 2. Now, I don't want to compare it to PlanetSide 2 because PlanetSide 2 is different in its own right. It is essentially an MMO, but it's like a first-person MMO. It's got like really big map battles, and Dust 514, for obvious reasons, doesn't have the same map sizes because of the PlayStation 3's limits. And but it comes pretty damn close. I'd like to say it's a cross between Starhawk and Battlefield 3. Even the maps are about the same size as Battlefield 3 maps. And it's got the same kind of play style that Starhawk has, which is why I'm comparing it to PlanetSide 2. Now, these games are both different, but they do have similarities. For example, when you do start in the game, you get to choose between four different factions, basically 4 different groups. I chose one of these 4 groups, and then within these groups there are certain types of I want to say lineages, or the same way you would bloodlines. There you go, bloodlines. So let's say, for example, there's like an assassin class, and woodcutters class, and democratic class. I'm just naming stuff. These aren't the ones that are in the game, but basically you choose a bloodline, and then you choose what you actually want to skill in. So I believe I chose Defender or Enforcer. It's one of those things. I chose the most defensive guy out of the bloodline that I chose, from the faction that I chose. I chose the, because I remember all 4 of them. One of them was like the oldest. One was a dictatorship, or sort of a corporate dictatorship is how they described it. So they're like the new age corporate. They stand for like the new age corporate government and all those big name stuff. I'd like to think of them as, say, like companies like Shell and GE. And the first one that I mentioned was like the oldest faction you could possibly choose. So I'd like to compare them to I don't know, Catholicism. That kind of makes sense. And the one that I chose was a sort of group that used to follow the Catholicism. I'm sorry, the Catholicism-like group. You know, they have their beliefs, but the my group did not like their beliefs, and they were enslaved by them actually, and they broke away from them, and now they fight against those two top groups. The fourth group is sort of like I don't want to say it's a neutral group. It's some kind of group that's just like, it's just the fourth group. I don't know. It's kind of like it's weird because the fourth group makes a sort of a fourth wheel in what already seems like a perfect three wheels. It makes that awkward fourth wheel. It's like you have a three-wheel bike and it's perfect, like a perfect equilateral triangle, and then you add a fourth wheel. It's like, I don't know, it just, for some reason, it's not equal. Like, it's not necessary. So, yeah, that fourth class was kind of just like, I don't really care much about it. And, you know, you start the game, and you basically start in this little room where you can, like, choose what you want to do. You can look at the leaderboards. You can buy from the marketplace because the game has microtransactions. You can buy things for your character. Make your character stronger, smarter, more along lines like typical MMO, which is why compared to the Planet Side 2. And then there's the console where you can, like, jump into a game. For right now, what it looks like, there are two game types. The one that I played was similar to Call of Duty's Domination. Well, I don't want to just say Domination. If you've ever played like Ravaged, I want to say it's like capture the resources. Domination, capture the resources, that kind of thing. You basically there's well, the map I was on has 4 spots on the map. You take them over by hacking them, and you just protect them. Capture, defend, and protect, which is why I said Domination. And I wasn't really too good this game, like it was like my first game, but I found that I chose Enforcer, so you think I would be like an infantry person, like walking around, because when you get into the game, there are like 4 different classes, similar to Battlefield, which is Battlefield. You can be a sniper class, which they call the recon class. There's the medic class, which you would think they have like a machine gun, but they don't. They just have a regular assault rifle. There is the front lines class, which it leads me to believe that it's the assault class. The front lines class is the assault class, and the anti-armor class obviously is the rocket launcher class that takes down vehicles and stuff. And the locking on system feels actually sort of fluid. It's similar to the locking system that's in Battlefield 3. Where, like, you know, you have to aim at it, and then when you want to fire at it, you have to hold the fire button for a couple seconds as it locks on, and once it's locked on, you just let go, and the guided missiles just run its course. Also, you can shoot the rockets at infantry people, which, I'm not gonna lie, the rockets fly pretty slow, so the rocket class isn't overpowered, so it's kind of cool. Anyway, this Dust 514 game is actually pretty fun, and it's a pretty good free-to-play game for the PlayStation. If you have a PlayStation and you don't want to buy any games, you just feel like, you know, playing for free because, you know, why not, right? PC does it. Dust 514 comes in there and, you know, gives you a nice Battlefield-like first-person shooter. There are a couple more free-to-play games on the PlayStation. I don't want to say like PlayStation Home is one because PlayStation Home isn't a game. It has games within a game. PlayStation Home is more of a hub so you can meet players. But also DC Universe is another free-to-play game. I have a video of that game on my channel. If you look it up, you can find it. And anyway, yeah, so I've spent a whole lot of time talking about what I didn't really want to talk about, but what I wanted to talk about, I guess, which has to do with Call of Duty, is basically, I'm not trying to start the whole PC versus console thing, but I don't have a graphics card, so obviously I've been playing my PlayStation today, and I don't know, for some reason I've just been comparing PlayStation and PC and Xbox and PC, and I mean, it's funny when I think about it. I tell people all the time, like, I won't play Call of Duty on PC, but I mean, you see gameplay of it because honestly I was trying out Black Ops 2 on my PC for the first time to see if it would run well, which it ran flawlessly. But I was always telling my friends that I still don't play AAA titles on my PC. I don't want to play AAA titles on PC, like Call of Duty, Battlefield. Those are the 2 top ones that come to my mind, but most titles that come out by major publishers like EA and Activision, like I don't really I'm not particularly fond of those types of games on PC because for some reason they're more prone to hackers, and honestly that's the one downside to playing PC is that you'll always come across a hacker in any game. If someone wants to hard enough, they will hack a video game or make hacks for a video game. So, you know, I avoid the AAA titles, but for some strange reason, and honestly, I think this only goes for Call of Duty, even though technically it also goes for Halo, I would honestly rather play Call of Duty or any AAA title on Xbox. And, I mean, it kind of counts for PS3 as well, but the reason why I'm saying Call of Duty and Xbox is because I watched a video from one of my favorite subscribers, and they were saying how, like, Xbox, the COD series is pretty much made for Xbox. They pretty much made it like so that it's optimized for Xbox. Not that it's not optimized for PS3, but it's just that when the developers for the next Call of Duty and previous Call of Duties were making Call of Duty, they always had more Xbox in mind. Xbox is the more hardcore system when it comes to gaming as far as consoles go. I don't want to start a console versus PC war now. I'm just saying that if I were to play Call of Duty, I would usually choose Xbox every single time. And I don't know, I've just always felt like that. I don't know how you guys feel. Like, I know I got some friends who actually play Call of Duty on PC, and you know, they will always go on about how PC is better than console. It is. I believe that 100% that PC trumps console on every level. Even the next gen ones, PS4 and Xbox 720 or whatever the hell they want to call that one. Like, everybody was going crazy. Oh my God, look at the particles on the PS3, or not PS3, on the PS4. Look at it, it's so awesome, I want it. And like, when I look at it, and I watch, like, they show that little tech demo with all those particles falling over a sort of area, all those blue blocks, and I look at it and I say, it's funny because that's really just standard DX11. Now, don't get me wrong, DX11 is very pretty, but it's already been implemented on PC. It really has. Like, if you've played Borderlands 2 on PC, which I've actually dabbled with PhysX on, that's standard DX11 physics. PhysX, not physics. PhysX. That's PhysX graphics. That's what it is right there. And I mean, it's not to down the PS4. It's a big step up for consoles, but honestly, it's basically on par with what PCs have been for the last last 2 years, 2 to 3 years, because I forget how long DX11 has actually been around, but the PhysX, those particles, that's standard PhysX. You can see that kind of particle physics in Borderlands 2 if you crank the settings, everything up on high, and play Borderlands 2. You can see that kind of physics happening in the game, you know. So, I mean, I look forward to PS4 and Xbox 720, whatever it's called, but I ain't holding my breath because PC will always be better. But even when the consoles do come out and I still stick to PC, I will probably always pick console for AAA titles like Call of Duty, because for some reason, and I guess this is what I really want to talk about, using a controller on console is so much, it's easier and harder than using a PC and mouse on PC. On PC, you get a keyboard and you get a mouse. I have a Naga mouse, but you know, you have a keyboard, you have a mouse, and they both have a lot of buttons. So you have the option to bind a lot of keys to a lot of things and be able to do a lot more. It does mean that you have to remember a lot more keys, but you can do a lot more. Now with the controller on console, it's the reason why I'll tell you why I say it's easy. It's easier because there's less buttons and everybody is at fault. I don't want to say at fault, but everybody is sort of handicapped to the controller. You know, you don't see too many people who find a PC to I want to say controller layout for the consoles, because I've seen actually one like that where you can plug in a mouse and a keyboard to a console, but it don't really work too well. So everybody uses a controller, and it's hard. but at the same time it's easy because everybody has to use the same controller. Now with PC, obviously when you use a keyboard and a mouse, everybody has different kinds of keyboards. Different keyboards have different stroking techniques. Some have more macros than the other, or more macro keys than the other. I have a Naga mouse that has 12 buttons on the side of the mouse, so that's just more keys for me to bind to be able to basically do more, you know. With a console like Xbox, for example, everybody has to use the whole ABXY, left right bumper, left right trigger. That's all you get. And you get 2 analog sticks, and those 2 analog sticks click in. So basically you're limited. So it's hard because you're so limited, but it's easy because everyone else is limited. So it comes down to how well you know the easiness of the controller. With PC, it's not, it's a lot more harder than it is easier, whereas on console it's a lot easier than it is harder, but it's still basically both. See, because with PC there's more buttons, so more binding and more understanding of the keyboard and stuff, so it's that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what I wanted to point out for this commentary. I didn't even know what this commentary is about. I guess it's just me rambling, so I'll just call this commentary just anyway. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will have another video for you guys later. Bye.